Yo, what's up, fam? Big love to our global crew, and if this is your first time hanging with us, welcome to the fam. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe. Alright, let's get into it. Things are going crazy out there. The war is heating up fast, and Yemeni missiles just took out an American F-16 fighter jet over Al-Jawf in northern Yemen. Word is, the U.S. Navy is now begging to pull their forces from the Red Sea. Trump's apparently sweating bullets right now too. According to the Yemeni military, the jet was carrying out hostile missions and had already bombed multiple areas in Yemen, leaving behind a trail of civilian casualties. But here's the kicker. They dropped that plane using an old Soviet-made SAM, surface-to-air missile. That's some Cold War tech right there, but it still hit the F-16 dead on and sent it crashing in the middle of nowhere. This is a major L for the U.S. forces. It shows Yemen's still got the skills to bring down even modern warplanes with vintage gear. It's also a big morale boost for the Yemeni troops, especially now that the conflict's flaring up again. Drone flies deep into Tel Aviv, hits Israeli army camp. But that's not all. The Yemeni military says they also ran two ops, one targeting an Israeli military site in occupied Jaffa, and the other hitting two U.S. destroyers. Meanwhile, a drone reportedly snuck into Israeli airspace and reached deep into Tel Aviv, striking a sensitive base linked to the Golani Brigade, one of the top Israeli elite units. Sources say the hit took out several soldiers, including high-ranking officers. Israeli media is freaking out, reporting chaos and confusion in the army and intel community. Apparently, Israel's air defense systems totally failed to intercept the drone. It made it all the way to the target. Tel Aviv streets went nuts. Sirens, fire trucks, ambulances, the whole deal. Residents heard loud explosions and saw smoke rising from the area. Israeli PM Netanyahu is supposedly in shock, especially since this came during a time when his government's already dealing with a bunch of political and security messes. After the strike, Netanyahu called an emergency meeting with his security cabinet and raised alert levels across the board. Definitely caught them off guard. Trump throws Netanyahu under the bus? In an awkward twist, while all this was going down, Trump reportedly delivered a major political slap to Netanyahu during his last trip to the White House. Netanyahu came in trying to cozy up to Trump, backing his policies and even offering to help funnel cash into the U.S. economy. He was hoping for some big favors in return, like support on Iran, Gaza, Syria, Turkey, and Saudi normalization. But what did Trump do? He flipped the script on camera, announcing for the first time ever, open, direct talks with Iran about the nuclear deal. First rounds happening this Saturday. This hit hard, especially since Israel had always been dead set against even indirect negotiations like the ones back in Oman in 2013. Israeli media is lit up about it. Every headline's about the U.S.-Iran talks. Iranian Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian even said earlier today he wasn't expecting any talks, so Trump's move really shook things up. Could this turn into a full-blown geopolitical earthquake? Maybe. Yemeni missile slams U.S. aircraft carrier USS Harry Truman. And just when you think that's all, nope. Reports now say the Yemeni forces fired a Quds cruise missile that hit the USS Harry Truman in the Red Sea. The missile caused massive fires and did some serious structural damage. Early U.S. assessments say it might be beyond repair. What's wild is the missile managed to slip through all the carrier's high-tech defense systems. Radars, interceptors, everything. Looks like Yemen's missile game just leveled up. Big time. The missile struck a critical section of the ship, knocking out its main systems and grounding all air operations. In response, Trump dropped an emergency statement calling for another carrier to be sent out to support Truman and reinforce U.S. forces in the area. He called the attack a serious provocation and said it's time to rethink America's whole military strategy in the Red Sea. The international reaction? All over the place. Some Western capitals are freaking out about possible escalation, while others are saying this is a game-changer in naval power dynamics. So, yeah, a symbolic and tactical hit all in one. Missiles be poppin'. Non-state actors are coming for the big dogs. Yo, things just got real out there. We're talking about serious upgrades in missile tech from non-traditional players. Yeah, the underdogs are now aiming straight at major U.S. assets like aircraft carriers. Palestine 2 missile hits Egyptian plane in Tel Aviv. The Yemeni armed forces just dropped a statement saying they fired a Palestine-2 ballistic missile at Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. The missile straight up hit an Egyptian cargo plane chillin' on the runway. Official word says the plane was carrying food supplies, but rumors are swirling hard that it was actually loaded with weapons headed to Israel. Yemeni forces say this strike was part of their response strategy to U.S. aggression in Yemen. And they're not done. They made it clear any shady aircraft are fair game from here on out. Egypt? They're keeping quiet. No official word yet. Folks close to the airline are denying it was a weapons run, calling it straight-up humanitarian aid. Meanwhile, that Palestine-2 missile is the newest flex in Yemen's ballistic arsenal. More accurate, bigger boom, and now officially a strategic game-changer. Missile turns U.S. ammo ship into a floating fireball in the Red Sea. In another wild twist, Yemeni forces claim they hit multiple U.S. Navy assets in the northern Red Sea, including the USS Harry Truman aircraft carrier. They launched both cruise missiles and drones in a coordinated strike. But here's the real headline. They say they nailed a U.S. supply ship loaded with tons of ammo, en route to the Truman. One long-range guided missile lit that thing up near the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, causing a massive fire on board. Crews are sweating bullets about secondary explosions from all the ammunition. Sources say the ship was part of a strategic U.S. Navy convoy, bringing gear and ammo to support Truman's mission in the region. The Houthis took credit for the hit, calling it a legit response to the ongoing aggression and blockade. No official statement from U.S. CENTCOM yet, but word is that Navy rescue teams are out there trying to get the crew to safety and contain the blaze. All this goes down while tensions in the Red Sea are hitting a boiling point, with Houthi forces turning up the heat on any ships linked to the U.S.-led coalition. Global shipping lanes? Shaky right now. Yemen says, "We just dropped an F-35, and now for the jaw-dropper. Yemen just announced they shot down a U.S. F-35, one of the most advanced fighter jets in the world. They say it happened over Sada province in northern Yemen, and they did it with a homemade surface-to-air missile. The jet was allegedly on a recon mission violating Yemeni airspace. After tracking it closely, Yemeni air defenses locked on and fired. Boom! Direct hit. The plane went down in some rough, mountainous terrain. No official response from the U.S. yet, but if this turns out to be true, it's a major blow to U.S. military pride. The F-35's known for its stealth tech and advanced jamming systems, so getting hit by a local DIY missile? That's a huge L. Experts are already saying this could mark a turning point in Yemeni air defense capabilities. No more flyovers without consequences. USS Harry Truman on life support after devastating strike. Finally, let's talk about what might be the wildest twist yet. The USS Harry S. Truman, one of America's biggest, baddest aircraft carriers, is reportedly on its last legs after a devastating strike by Yemeni forces. Sources say Yemen launched a combo attack using precision missiles and attack drones that slammed into critical parts of the ship. Huge explosions ripped through it, and now there's flooding inside the lower decks. Emergency crews on board, struggling hard. Internal fire and cooling systems are out, smoke and fire are still spreading. Right now, the Truman's basically a burning shell just floating out there. Can't move, can't launch planes, can't do anything. U.S. Navy is doing all they can to keep it from sinking, but insiders are saying it might go under within 48 hours. If it does, that's going to be the biggest military loss for the U.S. Navy in decades. Straight up strategic shift. Thanks for rocking with us. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next one. This is X News, where we keep it real and raw. Stay